Hello, in this video I would like to take you through setting up some of the most commonly used features on Discovery and also show you a few features that are a little less obvious but no less useful for that. The first thing I would recommend is to download the Land Rover iGuide app. This contains not only a full searchable copy of the handbook but also a reference guide for warning lights on the dashboard, a frequently asked questions section, and a visual tour around the inside and outside of the car with information on the controls, buttons and features. It's a great source of immediate information when a question pops into your head, or you just see a button and wonder, well, what does that do? Another download is the Land Rover Remote app. Your car comes with a SIM pre-installed by the retailer, who should have spoken to you about the setup of your account that enables many of the intelligent features on the car. When you first run the app, there's a quick start guide to aid setup, and then it provides control over remote locking and unlocking of the car, tells you how much fuel is in the tank, reports the last parked location of the car so you can always find your way back to it, and it can export a full journey log in the form of an Excel spreadsheet, so it's easy to keep track of business mileage. It also provides remote activation of the climate system, cooling the interior in summer before you get in, or warming and de-icing the car in winter whilst keeping the car fully secure. HSE luxury specification cars can even raise and lower the second and third row seats using commands from the remote app, useful if it's raining and you want to get the car ready for passengers, or fold all seats down to accommodate a large load. Let's start then with the smart key. Now, lock and unlock seem pretty obvious with a reassuring click answering each one. Pressing the lock button just once will lock the car. Pressing twice will double lock with a beep to confirm. Now, this means the car cannot be unlocked from the inside, so even if someone smashes a window, they still can't open the doors. This is a really important step in securing your car, and we recommend you double lock every time you leave the vehicle unattended. Holding the unlock button down will operate global opening, lowering all the windows to allow air into the car before you enter on a hot day. Similarly, if you get out and then realise you've left a window open, hold the lock button to activate global closing to raise all the windows and secure the car. These operations can be enabled or disabled using the instrument panel options. If your car is fitted with keyless entry, you don't even need to remove the key from your bag or pocket. So long as it's within a foot or so of the car, as soon as you put your hand around the door handle, the car will unlock. When you've left the car, just place your thumb on the end of the door handle to secure the vehicle. To double lock, press once and then once again, not too fast. Again, you'll hear that beep to confirm. Next, there's a button to unlock just the boot. If you have a powered tailgate, this would open or close the tailgate automatically, so do ensure that there's space for it to safely operate. There are sensors that will stop it if obstructed, but you'll notice I use my arm rather than my head to demonstrate that. Powered tailgates can also be operated by the button above the number plate on the outside, a button by the driver's knee inside, and a button on the back of the tailgate itself. The split tailgate provides a load-bearing shelf capable of taking the weight of 2 people, which can be folded separately and redeployed using the control in the load space. It'll fold up automatically when the powered tailgate closes. If you wish to adjust the height the tailgate opens to, if, for example, you have a garage with a low ceiling, reposition the tailgate to the desired height and hold down the button on the tailgate until you hear a beep. This will store that height to memory. If you have the gesture tailgate option, so long as the smart key is in your pocket, sweeping your foot under the rear corner of the car will trigger the tailgate to open or close. Next, there's a handy button to trigger the lights. So if you're approaching the car in the dark or simply trying to find it in a dark car park, well, this will switch the lights on. Now, by default, they'll stay on for 30 seconds. This can be extended up to 4 minutes if you want, using the settings inside the car. More on that later. Unlocking the car will also trigger the headlights, and they'll remain on for a short period after locking to provide light to see you to your door. The final button is a panic alarm. Press for 3 seconds or press 3 times in 3 seconds, and the horn will sound and the hazard lights will flash. After 5 seconds, this can be cancelled by holding the button down for a further 3 seconds. All our latest models have a Land Rover In-Control Secure Vehicle Tracker fitted, and your retailer will have performed the first steps in the setup process. You should have received an In-Control email inviting you to activate the tracker. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking your junk folder before contacting your retailer. The activation process takes less than 2 minutes. Once complete, you can view the certificate from within the InControl portal. If your insurer wishes to see proof of an activated tracker, simply go to the Your InControl Services section and select the option to download. To use the third row seats, simply pull them out of the floor and then click the headrests into place. Higher spec cars have powered seats that can be controlled from the main touchscreen, switches on the pillar just next to the rear doors, or the load space control panel. Access is via the rear doors. The release of the top of the second row seats will tilt the seat and then roll it forward. Once you've clicked it back into place, a bar under the seat will roll the second row forwards or backwards to share legroom out between the passengers. When you're not using the third row seats, they can be folded down by pressing the button on the side of the headrest to allow it to drop forwards, and then pull the strap on the back to release the seat back into the floor. Folding the second row seats involves dropping the headrests, using a button on the side of the headrest, and then pulling the lever on the side of the seat. Pull the seat back forward until it locks in place. If powered, this can be achieved with the touchscreen or load space controls. Controls at the side of the seat allow the seats to be reclined for greater comfort on long journeys. Getting into the car then, the first thing you need to do is find a comfortable position. Seat controls can be found on the outside of the seat. Steering wheel adjustment is either electric, using a joystick on the right-hand side of the steering column, or manual. Pull the lever on the underside of the steering column down, adjust the reach and rake to suit, and then push the lever back up to lock the steering wheel in place. Mirrors are adjusted using the controls mounted on the driver's door. Select which mirror to adjust using the buttons, and then use the joystick to adjust the angles. Incidentally, if you have power folding mirrors, pushing both buttons together will fold them in, useful if squeezing through a tight gap. Once everything is adjusted to your satisfaction, if you have memory settings, you can save these positions. Just press the M button and then within 5 seconds press one of the numbered memory settings. You'll hear a chime to confirm that it's saved. You can switch between stored settings just by pressing these numbered buttons. Great if you share the car with another driver. Controls for the electric windows are located on the driver's door. Locking the operation of windows from the rear seats will also engage the child locks on the rear doors. Most people will want to leave their windscreen wipers set to auto. Move the stalk to its lowest position and then come up one notch. Sensitivity can be adjusted using the rotating collar. Pull forward for screen wash. The outer collar operates the rear wiper and the button on the end controls the rear screen wash. Similarly, the headlights are best set to auto by rotating the outer collar. Pushing the stalk towards you will flash the main beam. When driving at night, pushing the stalk away from you will toggle the main beam on and off. If your car is fitted with auto high beam assist, the car will automatically dip main beam if it detects oncoming traffic. If you have matrix LED lights, which are standard on HSE specification, the car will keep main beam on almost all the time, creating cones of shadow around other road users so they're not dazzled, but maintaining full beam everywhere else. This mode operates above 30 miles an hour and requires the lighting control to be set to auto. There's an array of controls on the steering wheel. On the right-hand side are the controls for cruise control. Push the rocker switch up while travelling at your preferred speed, and the car will automatically maintain that speed until you touch the brakes or press cancel. Pressing the accelerator will cause the car to speed up, but when you release, it will return to the set speed. Pushing the rocker switch up or down will increase or reduce the set speed. If cruise control has been cancelled, pressing the rocker switch in will resume cruise control and return the car to the last set speed. If your car has adaptive cruise control, a radar monitors the speed of the car in front of you, and if they're travelling slower, the car will automatically match their speed. The arrow buttons will increase or decrease the distance between you and the car in front. Whilst you need to be travelling over 20 miles an hour to activate cruise control, adaptive cruise will match the speed of the car in front all the way down to 0. If the traffic restarts within 3 seconds, your car will pull away with the traffic. Any longer than that, and you'll need to give the car permission to go with just a gentle press on the accelerator. This function means that adaptive cruise control can be used in tiring, stop-start traffic situations. The limb button switches the function between cruise control and speed limiter. Lane keep assist can be toggled on and off with the button marked with converging white lines. If the heated steering wheel is fitted, the control will be found here. On the left-hand side, the button in the middle of the arrows accesses menu operations for the instrument panel, including media, trip records and passenger airbag and tyre pressure monitoring systems, and the virtual driver's display layout and heads-up display if they're fitted. The arrows allow you to navigate through these menus, up and down to scroll through the menus, right to select sub-menus, and left to take you back a step. Select options by pressing the centre button. The phone icon will answer an incoming call. Press and hold to end a current call. The thumb wheel will increase or decrease the volume of the call. When listening to music, the left and right arrows can be used to skip through tracks or radio stations. Again, the thumb wheel controls volume. The voice button primes the system to listen for voice commands. Just wait for the chime and then tune radio to BBC Radio 2. Alternatively, you can use a wake-up phrase. Initially, this is set to Hey Land Rover, but you can also set a name of your choice, for example, Hey Sophie. Names with 2 or 3 syllables work best. The system uses natural language understanding, so commands could be Hey Land Rover, call David's mobile. Hey Land Rover, take me to Buckingham Palace. Or Hey Land Rover, increase cabin temperature to 22 degrees. You'll need to enable the wake-up phrase in the Settings menu on the touchscreen. It's under General and then Voice. In the same place, there are options to disable the system's verbal confirmations and a tutorial detailing the full capabilities of the voice system. The diamond button can be customized to control a range of navigation, phone or media features. These can also be found in the Apps section of the vehicle settings under the heading Favorite button. To make the most of the advanced connectivity features offered by Discovery, you'll need an InControl account. If you don't already have one, you can create one at www.landroverincontrol.com/owner. To add the car to your account, it'll need to be parked close by in an area with good signal. When prompted, add the Discovery to your account by pressing and holding the roadside assistance button located in the overhead console until the light flashes at a slower rate. This should take around 10 seconds. You have 60 minutes to complete this step. Then return to the website and follow instructions to complete the registration. Download the Land Rover remote app to your phone and sign in with your InControl account details. This will allow you to locate the vehicle, lock and unlock it remotely, and initiate remote climate to pre-warm the cabin. Starting the car is as simple as putting your foot on the brake pedal and pushing the start button. So long as the smart key is in the car somewhere, the engine will start. When you first switch the car on, the main touchscreen will greet you, and at the bottom of the screen there is an option to set up your vehicle and the infotainment system, named PIVI. We highly recommend you click on this, as the system will walk you through a few key steps to streamline the setup process. This will lead you to select your choice of language. From here, you'll be prompted to add a name for your personal profile and choose a graphic for that profile, and then to input your InControl account details. Each authorized user of the vehicle can have their own profile linked to their own InControl account. When you've done this, you may receive a message saying there's no internet connection and giving you the option to enable connectivity. Select this and then switch on mobile data and agree to the terms and conditions. Once you've enabled mobile data, return to the sign-in screen by pressing the X at the bottom right of the screen. Tap the sign-in button, and when sign-in has completed, you'll be given the option to set a 4-digit passcode to secure your data, and then the option to remember this passcode to automatically sign you in whenever you start the vehicle. PIVI will then prompt you to pair a phone. On your phone, simply go to Settings and then Bluetooth and search for New Device. Select Land Rover Discovery and then confirm the pairing on both your phone screen and then the PIVI screen. There are options to enable both audio streaming and telephone communications. For display and reading of text messages, it may be necessary to select the Land Rover Discovery Bluetooth device on your phone and then select Enable Notifications or Text Messages. You can then pair additional phones to the system or continue. There's always the function to add more phones later. PIVI allows 2 phones to be connected simultaneously, for example, work and personal phones. When either phone rings, you can answer the call via the vehicle's touchscreen. For making calls, you can switch between focused phones directly from PIVI's home screen. Finally, PIVI will prompt you to select your radio station favourites to add to your favourite lists. Following a short animation showing a few tips of how to navigate PIVI, the main homepage will appear. The Setup wizard will be offered on the greeting screen each time you start the vehicle. Multiple drivers and profiles can be added, and PIVI will remember each driver's preferences to deliver a personal experience. It can also analyse behaviour to pre-select navigation routes and destinations based on your regular routine. PIVI's home screen has been designed to allow direct access to the features and information you use most. By default, this offers direct access to media and telephone and navigation, and the most common features and information available with each. PIVI offers a consistent, logical interface. On the left-hand side, there's the clock and connectivity details, and below that, shortcuts for the standard surround cameras and settings. On the right-hand side, you can switch between driver profiles, jump straight to navigation, phone or media from virtually anywhere in the system, access vehicle settings such as auto brake hold, auto stop start and stability control, or launch one of the additional apps available. Pressing the cog icon will take you into settings, where you can find options for connectivity, languages and many vehicle safety features. It's worth looking through these to understand the full range of customization available. Quick Settings allows you to choose a dark or a light display theme and adjust screen brightness. The next tab is Context Sensitive, presenting options for the application you jumped here from. So if you press the Settings icon whilst in the Navigation app, it'll say Navigation. Coming from the home screen as we did, it gives options for the home screen layout. Selecting All takes you into options for driver profiles, connectivity, which includes Bluetooth, mobile data, Wi-Fi connection and settings for CarPlay and Android Auto, vehicle, which allows configuration of drive assistance features like lane keeping and parking aids, security features, exterior light settings, which includes headlamp delay and setting lights for driving abroad, convenience, which controls the global opening and closing of the windows, units allows customization of display units, and My Vehicle shows the next anticipated service date. Back to the home screen. The standard 3 tiles can be customized with other features and functions. These can be added to the home screen by swiping left and selecting the Edit icon. Then tap or drag the desired tiles from the bottom row to the top row, rearranging as you see fit. When you return to the home screen, you can then swipe through all of the tiles. Many tiles will show live information, like the name of the radio station or song that you're listening to. The 4x4 info tile incorporates an altimeter and compass, as well as the distribution of power to each of the wheels, differential locks, and the angle of incline or banking that you've achieved. Let's look at the main 3 tiles. If no phone is connected, the phone tile will prompt you to pair a device. With the phone connected, the phone tile shows which of the connected phones is currently active for outgoing calls. Options below access recent calls or favorites data if your phone supports this, as well as the ability to switch between connected phones for outgoing calls. Lists can be scrolled, and just tapping on a contact from the recent calls list dials the number, all without having to leave the home screen. Connecting a phone with a USB cable enables Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Both are standard on Discovery, although some Android phones may require the free Android Auto app to be installed. You may also need to switch the service on for your device by going to Settings, All, Connectivity, and then either CarPlay or Android Auto. This allows the control of compatible phone apps via the main screen. Most music playing and podcast apps are supported, as well as streaming services like BBC Sounds and Scala Radio. Connecting your phone in this way also allows voice access to your phone assistant using a long press on the steering wheel. Send text message to Dad.
What do you want to say?
I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Your message to Dad says I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
The next tile to look at is Media. The home screen shows what's playing, along with buttons for source, choosing between radio bands and the phone that I've just added, and favourites radio stations. Favourites can contain DAB, FM and AM based stations. There's also an icon to instantly mute or pause playback. Choosing radio and then tapping on the media tile launches the media play screen, providing access to the full station list. Tapping stars will add them to your favourites. Choosing a phone as source will show artwork if available, and browse will allow access to the full range of songs, artists and albums available on the phone. And again, many selections can be made using the voice control system. The last of the main three tiles to examine is navigation. With no destination set, the home screen provides shortcuts to set home as your destination, search, and direct access to your recent destinations. Just click on a destination from the list and the route will be calculated and guidance start in around a second. Pressing search takes you to the full screen navigation view where you can click on a search category. Selecting one of these will display nearby options and give access to ratings and reviews if available. Parking options will even show the hourly rate for the car park. Whichever way a destination is chosen, just clicking on Go will calculate the route according to your preferences in navigation settings. If you prefer, you can click on Routes to choose between the fastest, shortest and most economical route options. Instead of searching by category, you can input a search term wherever you see the search box in navigation. This can be a place name, place type, like Italian restaurant, or an address or postcode. Destinations can also be easily set by voice. Hey Land Rover, take me to 33 Baker Street, London.
33 Baker Street, London. You can say I'm finished to set the location or changed, followed by the address item you wish to edit.
As well as appearing on the main touchscreen, navigation instructions will also be shown on the interactive driver display. This can be reconfigured by pressing the button in the center of the arrows and selecting Display and then Layout to choose between a 1 or 2 dial display with info panels that can be configured to show the map or media information, or do away with the dials for a clean, streamlined digital layout. You can even bring the map across the whole screen, retaining a digital readout of your speed. The full screen map view can also now display additional information such as traffic incidents en route or a list of upcoming manoeuvres. With the destination set, the home screen's navigation tile options change to cancel guidance, mute or unmute voice turn-by-turn instructions, and access to en route information. Tapping on this displays a list of traffic incidents and the associated delay, or rest stops available along your current route. Simply click on a destination from the list for it to be added to your route as a waypoint. PIVI Pro learns your regular journeys. On startup, the navigation tile will display up to 3 predicted destinations, each with an estimated time of arrival, taking into account your usual driving style and current traffic conditions. If you sometimes drive to the same destination using different routes, it will also identify which route is the fastest based on current traffic conditions. Tapping on the destination shown in the navigation home screen tile confirms this as the intended destination. For frequently used routes, the system displays the route but doesn't provide turn-by-turn voice instructions. If the live traffic system alters the route to unfamiliar roads, the system will automatically enable voice guidance. On returning to familiar roads, the system will automatically mute voice guidance again. Discovery is equipped with a 4G data connection, providing over-the-air performance updates of the infotainment and other vehicle systems, and also allows the addition of new features over time. When an update is available, it will alert the driver via the menu touchscreen and ask for permission to update when you complete your journey. Some updates may require the vehicle to be switched off and locked whilst the update is carried out. For convenience, these updates can be scheduled for a suitable time within a 2-week period. The data connection also enables a variety of connected navigation features and services, such as real-time traffic information, parking availability, safety camera locations, live search, as well as monthly navigation map updates. It also enables the online pack, which allows synchronization and streaming from various online accounts, including Spotify, Deezer and TuneIn, and Google or Microsoft calendars. You can also view weather at your destination and even pay for parking from the vehicle's touchscreen using Ringo. To set this up, go to the app launcher, select Connect Accounts, and then select the type of account you wish to connect. You'll then be given the option of an emailed link or a QR code. Simply scan this with a phone that already has these accounts added, and PIVI will do the rest. Once added, Spotify, Deezer and TuneIn will show up as additional media sources alongside your phone and radio bands. The Agenda app allows you to set the location of an appointment in your calendar as the destination with just one tap, or call the meeting organizer with one tap if you're running late. There's no need for additional mobile data contracts or SIM cards. If there's a valid active subscription, Mobile data is included via the built-in SIM card. Connected navigation and remote access to your vehicle via the remote app includes a 3-year subscription, whilst the online pack for live apps like Spotify is included for an initial 1 year. On renewal of a subscription, the associated data plan required is also renewed. Back to the home screen. The camera icon reveals the 3D surround camera views that can simulate an overhead view as well as a full 360-degree surround view from outside the vehicle. Each of the camera icons on the overhead view presents a different view, allowing you to switch between different virtual camera positions for a better view. Front and rear cameras can be selected in ultra-wide view, so when pulling out of a blind junction or reversing out of a tight parking space, you have enhanced vision left and right. The off-road option can even simulate a view under the bonnet. On a steep slope, when all you can see out of the windscreen is sky, it's reassuring to see where your wheels are placed on the track. Pressing the icon for driver controls brings up a screen with 2 tabs. Drive contains options for turning off stability control, the auto stop-start system, and also brake hold assist settings. Ride height accesses controls for the air suspension, so you can select access, normal, or off-road height. Access height lowers the vehicle by 40 millimeters to make it easier to get in and out. When you drive above 25 miles an hour, Discovery will automatically raise back up to normal drive height. The vehicle can be locked in access height by making the selection and then pressing the lock icon. Discovery can be set to automatically lower to access height when you come to a stop and open a door. Just navigate to Settings, All, Vehicle and Convenience, where you'll see options for auto access height. Off-road height 1 raises the vehicle 75 millimeters above normal drive height for maximum ground clearance at speeds below 30 miles an hour. Off-road height 2 raises 40 millimeters above normal height and operates up to 50 miles an hour, useful for services like deep sand, where you want to maintain speed. The auto soft key toggles between manual and automatic selection of which off-road height to use. If Discovery detects that it's been grounded or wading in deep water, the touchscreen will display options to deploy extended mode, raising the suspension to maximum settings to return control. This severely limits the movement of the suspension, and the car should be returned to regular off-road height as soon as conditions allow. You can even control the suspension height from the smart key. With the engine running and hazard lights activated, close the doors and then press the headlights and tailgate unlock buttons simultaneously to lower the suspension, headlights and unlock to raise the suspension, and headlights and lock to set the vehicle to normal height. More details about the operation of air suspension can be found in iGuide. If a deployable tow bar is fitted, it can be deployed using the button at the rear of the load space or via the touchscreen. Just press the apps icon and select tow bar. For convenience, there are also controls to help check the lights on your trailer, illuminating each light separately in a timed sequence. The tow bar app can even report the nose weight of the trailer. This feature is available for 60 minutes after deploying the tow bar. Check iGuide or the handbook for details of tow assist features that can help with the maneuvering and stability of your trailer. Below the main touchscreen, you'll find the climate controls. The left and right dials give temperature control for driver and passenger. These can be locked together by pressing sync. Pressing these dials in will toggle function to control the seat temperature. Pulling the dials out will give control of the fan speed. Tap auto to put this back under control of the climate system. There are also buttons here for heated front and rear windscreens and air circulation. These functions can be automated by going to Settings, All, Apps, and then Climate. The seat icon gives a graphical display of seat options and can activate front and rear seat climate and massage options, depending on the specification of your car. And if your phone is Qi compatible, this bottom stowage area can house the optional wireless device charging feature if specified. Perfect for doing away with those pesky cables. Once the engine's on, the 15-watt charging pad can not only charge your phone, but will also improve your phone's signal through the latest cellular boosting technology. Just be careful not to put any other metal objects on the pad, as this can disrupt charging. Discovery uses a palm shift gear selector. Press the brake, squeeze the trigger and nudge it towards you for forward drive or away for reverse. Whilst driving forward, nudging the selector towards you again will put the Discovery in sport mode. This will alter the operation of the automatic gearbox, holding onto gears longer to give punchier performance. You can manually shift up and down the auto gearbox using the paddles either side of the steering wheel. In drive mode, the system will revert to auto operation after about 10 seconds, but in sport mode, you'll remain in manual control of the gears. To return the car to automatic operation, hold the right paddle towards you for about a second. The paddles can be configured so that they are only active in sport mode by going to Settings and then Vehicle and Convenience. When you come to a stop, pressing the P button or switching off the ignition will automatically return it to park. The electronic park brake will disengage automatically when you drive away and re-engage when you come to a stop and open the driver's door. Turning the terrain response dial selects different driving modes. The car will alter throttle response, traction control and differential settings to deliver the best control and grip on a variety of surfaces. Discovery now features a new wading mode. If you're going through deep water, we recommend selecting wade sensing from the 4x4 information tile for a continuous report on the depth of water so you know how close you are to the 900mm limit. If you have the optional terrain response too, pressing the dial down flush with the console activates auto terrain response, with the car using sensor data to determine and automatically engage the most appropriate drive mode. If you have a low range gearbox, the control will be found next to the terrain response dial. To engage low range, you must be stationary with the drive selector in neutral. To return to high range, come to a halt, engage neutral and press the button again. When driving, be aware that a start-stop system is standard, so the engine will cut out when you come to a stop, instantly restarting in the time it takes for your foot to move from the brake to the accelerator when you pull away. This can be overridden in the driver controls screen, but it delivers a surprisingly high fuel saving and helps to reduce air pollution in cities and towns. All cars are fitted with exhaust filters. These need to refresh occasionally, and you may notice more visible exhaust emissions whilst this is happening. For a diesel, it tends to happen when the car is being driven at higher speeds and the exhaust gets hot. For a petrol, it happens more frequently when you lift off the throttle and more oxygen passes through the system. Occasionally, the car may display a message saying "Drive to clear." This is most common on diesels, which have been used for predominantly short, low-speed journeys, in which case they need a blast down a dual carriageway. For petrols, it happens when they've been used under load, like towing. Find occasions to lift off the throttle and slow using engine braking to clear the filter. Automatic braking systems for city driving are standard and detect other traffic, pedestrians and cyclists, preventing collision or mitigating damage. Cars fitted with adaptive cruise control have a high-speed emergency braking system. The lane keep system will provide a torque steer back into the lane if the car thinks you're drifting beyond the lane markers, so it's important to indicate when changing lane. If blind spot assist is fitted, the door mirrors incorporate a blind spot warning system, lighting up when a vehicle is travelling alongside and flashing rapidly to warn if a car is closing to overtake. If you start to move into the path of an adjacent vehicle, the car will deliver a torque steer in an attempt to avoid a collision. These driver aids are designed to intervene when there is no input from the driver, which is surprisingly hard to simulate, so please don't try to test these systems. Any input from the driver will override them, and they do not reduce the driver's responsibility to drive safely and attentively. They can be deactivated, but as all of them have been shown to save lives both inside and outside the vehicle, they're switched on by default, and we recommend leaving them that way. For additional safety, in the event of an accident where the airbags are deployed or fuel safety cutoff is activated, the car will automatically contact emergency services, sending GPS location data. Emergency services can be contacted at any time by pressing the right-hand button above the rear-view mirror. The left-hand button summons breakdown assistance. Both these buttons have covers to avoid accidental operation. When refueling, simply press the filler flap. So long as the car is unlocked, it'll open. A smart mechanism will prevent filling with the wrong fuel. Diesel vehicles will occasionally need topping up with diesel exhaust fluid. Warnings will flash up on the information display to let you know when you're running out. You get about 1,000 miles notice, and if it runs out, as a legal requirement, the engine will not start. The filler spout is located under the bonnet on the left-hand side of the vehicle. Any Land Rover retailer will be able to do this for you, or full instructions can be found in the iGuide app. This video has really only touched on the essentials. Please make use of the iGuide app or videos on our YouTube channel to find out more, or contact your retailer with any questions. Thank you for your time, and enjoy your time with your Discovery.